Hey, I'm Scott.
And I'm Melissa.
And this is the Walsh Fam Podcast. Hello and welcome back to the Walsh Fam Podcast. It's the place where two people talk about life with you people. I'm Scott Walsh, and as always, I am joined by my wife, the unbelievably fantastic Melissa Walsh.
Wow, that's a big one.
Yeah,
Hi, everyone.
I'm feeling on another level today. I don't know why, but I'm very excited for this episode.
Yeah, maybe it's the topic.
It could have something to do with that, yeah. I might be a little bit unfairly biased towards this episode, but it's going to be a fun one, so buckle up. But before we dive into the meat and bones of it, Melissa, what, have you not heard that before?
I have, I just didn't like it.
I saw you react to that, yeah, okay. I don't know where that came from. That's not a phrase I ever use, but I whipped it out just for the occasion. So we know what time it is. It's candle time, so what do we got today?
Well, today we're having a little mocktail. This is called Pink Lady Cocktail. This is available right now at Aldi. They have many flavors, scents, depending on what you like to say. And this one seems like it has red fruits, juicy, and vanilla.
Hold on.
Red fruits, juicy, vanilla.
Wait, that's the ingredients or the smell?
What does juicy smell like?
Red fruits, juicy, and vanilla.
I was like, I'm surely reading this wrong.
Okay.
I actually won this at a Galentine's party I was at recently, and also had other people send it to me. Our friend Paige recommended it, so
check it out at
glad.
Aldi.
Yes, so I'm glad that we got one, and I just happened to win it, so it's perfect. So yes, Pink Lady Cocktail at Aldi's. It says red fruits, juicy vanilla, always time for a cocktail. And it is in a very cute little glass.
Yeah, that is nice. Not really my style, but
It's my style.
here we go. Yeah, I want to say, I heard you shout out Aldi too. We don't shop at Aldi, so that might be a little bit disingenuous there, but we've got plenty of friends that shop at Aldi, and we got the recommendation, so here we are.
The only thing that keeps us from Aldi is that we're picky eaters. Mm-hmm. And it's like, once we have something we like, we're not really willing to branch out. Mm-hmm. And so it's our own doing. We're missing out on the savings. It's a bummer.
I think you dropped a match. Is it? Oh, it's just on the floor. No problem. Well, you don't have to get it now. I just saw it.
Too late.
I couldn't let that go. Oh.
Okay, Scott, what are we talking about today?
Well, this was kind of a spur of the moment decision on what to talk about. But I'm really excited that we landed on it because we're talking about, if I'm not mistaken, we're talking about my hobbies over the years.
Yes, and I'm actually so excited about this because you're the weirdest person I've ever met.
Oh, thank you.
You have the strangest assortment of hobbies, including the one hanging on the wall behind you.
Oh, what? This picture right here?
No, you're not a painter.
Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, you're talking about this.
I would say the unicycle.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is that where we're starting?
Let's start with the unicycle, Scott.
So I want to talk loose structure on this because I want there to be some structure to it. Otherwise, I'm just going to ramble for about a half hour about all of the weird things I'm into. So I am going to do my best for all of you aspiring hobbyists out there to rate all of these hobbies that I've had over the years so that you can make judgments on what hobbies you want to pick up or what you want to avoid. So Melissa's going to be walking me through some of them. I'm going to bring up some, maybe even one or two that you have never heard before that I've done.
Yeah, let's get started. I want to know kind of like the origin too, because some of these are so out of left field that I'm like, where did you get the idea to start this?
Sure.
So let's start with the unicycle, Scott.
Well, yeah, the origin to the unicycle, as with most of these, is just that I'm a weird guy. I've always gravitated towards just unique and fascinating things to try. So the unicycle was a Christmas gift to me. Okay. From my grandparents.
Did you ask for it?
I did. I asked for a unicycle.
Okay.
I actually had a neighbor down the street that had a unicycle, and I was like, "That looks pretty fun. I'm gonna have to try that." So I got this bad boy here, and probably, man, I must have been like a sophomore in high school. So just picture me, 16 years old, just cruising down the street on my unicycle.
Maybe you had like better balance then, would you say?
Still not that great. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a person who's very nimble or has very good balance. So it was not easy for me to pick up. But
so what's the longest you can go on a unicycle?
Oh, back in the day, I could probably ride it for like 45 seconds or a minute.
Okay. And I've tried it, and that's hard.
It's impossible. Yeah. And it's been a long time. So right now, I don't think I could hardly even get up on it.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely going to get back into it. We said on our New Year's resolutions episode, one of mine was to get back into the unicycle. So we meet again, old friend. Yeah, I'm going to be up there. You'll probably hear me in the basement, honestly, working on it, because that's crashing. A judgment-free environment, because I feel a little weird as a full-grown adult just practicing my unicycle in the front yard with all of our neighbors watching.
On a hill. Well, the kids are like out riding their bikes. Mm-hmm. You're just like a grown man on a unicycle.
Yeah, nothing wrong with it, but just, some judgment.
Could stand out. Okay, what would you rate your experience with unicycle as a hobby?
Yeah, so, pretty low startup cost.
Mm-hmm. Especially for you, because it was a gift.
This was a used unicycle.
Oh, okay.
It was found on like a Craigslist or something like that.
So it was pre-loved.
And it's pretty fun, honestly, but it's pretty limiting in what you can do. It's not very broad, so I'm going to give it unicycling. I'm going to give it a 79.
And this is out of 100?
Out of 100 always.
Okay, 79.
You'll never catch me rating anything out of 10. It's a waste of time.
Waste of time. That's such a strong opinion that you have.
Okay, and I have a lot of these, so we're going to keep them coming. So what's next up, Melissa?
Juggling. Is this juggling balls?
Yeah. Well, this isn't. But
what
this is.
This? Oh, this is separate.
Yeah. Okay. Juggling balls. Juggling. Fantastic hobby. Probably picked this up around the same time. Probably right when I was going into high school. A lot of things you can do with juggling, a lot of different techniques. You can do 3 balls, you can do 4 balls, you can do more. You don't even have to do balls. You can do, for example, juggling clubs, which Melissa
are in my home.
Happens to have right there. You going to hand them over to me? Okay, balls are out, clubs are in.
Over to you.
Juggling is fantastic, and it's actually pretty easy. So if you've never learned how to juggle, you could learn it within like 30 minutes, even if you have no dexterity whatsoever. So juggling, I'm going to give, unicycling was 79. I'm going to give juggling an 84.
Wow. Okay. So
it's
that's
just a classic.
Good.
It's just a classic. If you don't know how to juggle, you should. There's no reason anyone can't know how to juggle.
I can juggle too.
Two balls. That's not juggling. That's just tossing a ball around.
In a circle.
Yeah.
But I cannot do 3, and definitely not pins.
These are trickier, but I tell you, it's the wow factor is there. So if you can figure out the clubs.
Have you ever juggled something that was on fire?
No.
Did your parents ever at any time wonder if you were going to join a circus?
I haven't asked them specifically, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, I'm going to ask them about that later. Okay.
Juggling. Well, I had it. Did I drop it? The other thing you tossed over here that looks like a juggling ball, it's not. Oh. That was almost in the candle. This is a hacky sack.
Yes.
There is a very short period where me and my friends in the neighborhood were attempting to learn to hacky sack. Honestly, I never got that much into it, but it's pretty fun. You can kick it around with your friends. I'm going to give hacky sacking a 55.
Oh, wow. That's low.
Look, when you think about the grand scheme of things, a 50 is average, so it's still above average. It's fun, but it's no juggling. Oh, okay. Some people can probably tell from the sound what this is. These are dice.
What kind of dice, Scott?
Not a specific kind, but I use them for the board game or the role-playing game Dungeons & Dragons. This is one of my newer hobbies.
A fun fact about me, I love Dungeons & Dragons.
Exactly. This is one that we can do together.
You hate playing Dungeons & Dragons with me.
No, I don't hate it.
Yes, you do. Nobody ever lets me play with them. I feel like Rudolph because nobody wants to play with me. I'm very passionate about it, but I'm not that good.
Wait, the red-nosed reindeer?
Red-nosed reindeer.
It took me like 3 seconds to comprehend that comment.
Yes, I always want to play D&D when people get together, but it's always, oh no, it's guys' night. But I want to play. I think it's so fun. I like making a character and getting into it. Anyway, Scott, you tell me about it.
Well, your problem is that it's mostly
my problem is?
No, the problem for you is that it's mostly my guy friends that are into it.
Yes.
Most of their wives have no interest in playing.
That's true. I would say none of their wives have interest in playing.
Yeah, so we can get a big group of guys, but getting the girls committed is tougher. So
and then all the girls want to hang out separate because all the husbands are together. And
you can't really split away from that group and then come play with me and 5 of my guy friends, you know?
which we have fun. Us girls have fun, but I'm just saying every once in a while I would love to be invited.
I know. Hashabrownatron needs to make an appearance.
I switched my name.
Yeah, the first time Melissa was going to play with us and she found out she got to create her own character and give it a name, she pitched the name Hashabrownatron.
Yes.
What does that even mean?
I'll be honest, I think we were having hash browns when I came up with it.
Okay.
I'm pretty confident that is where it came from.
This is the wildest episode already. Like 10 minutes in.
What would you rate D&D?
D&D, I'm giving a 80.
80. Okay.
Honestly, it's not one of my favorite. Like, I'll play it every now and then, but I'm not going to be that person that gets into a weekly campaign for a year at a time.
Yeah, but you like it enough to
I do
play
enjoy it
and to
quite
own
a
your
bit.
own dice.
And it's fun. Again, if you haven't played, you should. It's very fun. Everyone should play at least once.
Scott, I need to know what is in this mysterious black pouch.
Open it up and find out.
Okay.
Do you know what's in there?
Should I be careful? I think so. I think it's sharp.
This one, I don't even know that I would call this like a hobby of mine, but...
I'm scared.
Oh, careful. Yeah.
It's kind of stuck.
Yeah, well, they don't... Hey, look at that.
Good. If we ever have an intruder in our home, we can protect ourselves with throwing stars.
Yeah, I keep them in the nightstand. Not really.
I think we should, though.
This is one of my sets. I have a few of throwing stars.
Tell me
Or
about
shuriken.
that. And tell me how you got Pam, your mother, to agree to throwing stars as a hobby.
Look, Pam gets a lot of hate sometimes because she sometimes gets labeled as the strict one in the family, right? You know, Dad's the, have fun, go do whatever you want, and Pam's the enforcer. But Pam, I was walking around as probably like an 8th grader with ninja stars, and she got them for me with my grandparents in Florida at a flea market.
How fun.
My first set. So yeah. My buddies, we had throwing knives. And so we would just go out to my backyard and just chuck them at trees and like fences. So, yeah.
There are houses. There were other homes.
Well, it was, yes.
Sound safe.
Well, especially because it was my neighbor's fence that bordered our yard. And sometimes if you missed, you could miss high and it would go over the fence. And you would just hope that there weren't people back there.
Oh, my goodness.
But we never had any issues.
That's good. I'm glad.
Throwing stars, honestly, I'm going to give this a pretty low rating as well because it's fun, but I wouldn't even really call it like a hobby. It's just something that I did. I'm going to give it a... What did I give? Oh, I gave Hacky Sack like a 50-something.
55.
I'll give this a 54.
Wow. Just a little worse than Hacky Sack.
I would just slightly rather be hacky sacking.
Okay.
Although I don't know that that's true, but very limited. Oh, this is an icon right here. Rubik's Cube. I was going to try to do it right now, but honestly, I don't want to because that could be really embarrassing if I forget how to do it.
Do it.
Rubik's Cube is very fun. Again, something anyone can learn. Very cheap. Even these, this is like a very high quality Rubik's Cube. It was like $6 or something online.
What makes it high quality?
So the ones you buy that are actually like Rubik's Cube brand, I have one of them. Of course, it is from like 15 years ago, but it's super stiff. So when you try to turn it and spin it, it's like you have to like crank on it.
So it's fighting against you, like if you're timing yourself.
Yeah, and you don't want that. These are very like free flowing, and you can manipulate them very quickly.
Play that up by the microphone. I think everyone should hear.
Oh, like a little...
Yeah, so fun fact, one time we were traveling together and Scott said, do you think anyone would mind if I did my Rubik's Cube on the plane?
You can do it quietly. Like if you go slow.
It is not quiet. That would be so irritating to me if you were sitting next to me doing your Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you do it like right before we fall asleep. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Scott, please stop Rubik's Cubing.
I always bring them on vacation because they fit nicely in a backpack, and I love packing a backpack on vacation. I always think on vacation I'm going to need things to entertain me, so I'll pack like my Rubik's Cube
when we're
and
like going to
my
do
juggling
fun
balls, just because I love putting them in a backpack and carrying a backpack. But what am I going to do with juggling balls in Florida?
Yeah, I do love when you and our brother-in-law Matt will get competitive over Rubik's Cube, and I think he would beat you right now because you're out of practice.
It has been a while, but that was another one of my resolutions is to get better at the Rubik's Cube again, kind of refresh myself. So I'm going to give Rubik's Cube a pretty good score here. I'm going to give Rubik's Cube a 88.
That is pretty high.
It's pretty one-dimensional, but it's, logically interesting. It stimulates the brain, and it's a whole bunch of fun, and it's very cheap to get into. 88.
88. That is your highest rating thus far.
Oh, what do you have here? Oh, this is a quick and easy one. These are Pokemon cards.
What do you like about Pokemon? What is it that keeps you coming back to Pokemon?
I like Pokemon as a kid. I never played the games, but I always collected the cards. And so even into my adulthood, I have, which is not that surprising. A lot of people do that. But I love every year for my birthday and for Christmas, I always ask for Christmas cards. Yes, I'm 28 years old. I get it. That's weird. But still, my grandma will go into Target and ask for Pokemon cards. And everyone, all the workers will ask, oh, how old's your grandson? Is he 8? Is he 10? No, he's 28. And he still collects Pokemon cards. So Pokemon and Pokemon cards, I'm going to give it an 85. Because I've never played the video games. I've never played the actual card game. I'm just a collector. So.
And who do we have here?
Oh, wow. That's a representation of one of my hobbies, which I've just recently really gotten back into, and that is building Legos. This is
your biggest thing right now.
Biggest hobby?
Yes, I would say.
So again, shout out, man. Pam's getting a lot of screen time in this podcast, but shout out to Pam again. She's enabling you. As a child, I had a lot of large Lego sets that I got for birthdays and stuff. And Pam, when I moved out of the house, took them all apart piece by piece, like down to this thing has like 3,000 pieces in it. She disassembled all of them piece by piece, put them in large Ziploc bags, and labeled them.
I was shocked and appreciative of that.
Fantastic move. Because now, as a 28-year-old, I go to my basement. I have a tub full of individually packaged and labeled Ziploc bags with all my Lego sets in them, with instructions in some cases. If not, you can find them online. So I have, over the past 6 months, when we've had downtime, just popped open an old Lego set and tore into it. So this is one of my most recent creations. I've got a handful of them, but man, Legos, this is going to get a killer score because this is a timeless hobby. This is ageless. You can be 80 years old and still enjoy a Lego, unless you got crippling arthritis or something, I guess. Shout out to those dealing with crippling arthritis.
Okay, Scott. What would you rate it?
You're in our thoughts and prayers. Legos. I'll give it ready for this one? 95.
95?
Nothing in the world wrong with Legos. This is oh my gosh, this is wild.
I know, I didn't really know how to pick that up without crumbling it.
Looks like a crime scene over here from a maniac's house. Just stuff scattered all over the place.
What's something on your list that I don't have an object for?
Oh yeah. So let's see. Unicycling, juggling, hacky sack, Legos, Pokemon cards, Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, here's one. Fire breathing.
You have done fire breathing?
Is this one that you haven't heard of before?
I'm not sure I knew that.
I feel like I may have mentioned it, but
maybe you have.
It's definitely not one of my core. It's just something that I've done once or twice.
How does one fire breathe?
Not safely, I will say.
Okay.
You get a liquid substance that is flammable, and there are many options out there. I'm not going to name them because I don't want to encourage people to do this, because many of them are carcinogens and potentially cancerous. So don't do it.
Okay, so we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, and then you just put it in your mouth, and then you just spit it out, and then you just light it on fire.
How old were you when you did this?
Oh, probably 16.
And probably. Where was your family?
Out of town, I would think.
I would think so.
Same place they were when I did this other thing on my list, eating light bulbs.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
Which I think it's important to remind the viewers at home and the listeners that you did that by yourself.
Which I would not recommend, of course. Do it with a friend around.
Or don't do it at all, actually.
Don't do it at all.
Oh, wait, we need to rate fire breathing.
I'll rate them. Fire breathing, 32. Cool, in theory, kind of underwhelming, and just not safe.
Okay, and light bulb eating?
40. What's the point?
Nobody knows.
Look, I get it. I'm a weirdo. I've got stupid hobbies, but at least doing a Rubik's Cube is you accomplish something at the end of the day.
They're not stupid hobbies. They're just a little out of the norm.
Yeah.
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 I like about you that you have a lot of crazy hobbies.
Like eating light bulbs?
Yes.
Oh, we have here a nice deck of cards.
This is a very calm, normal hobby.
Look, I don't know even what to call this hobby. If it's just playing cards or if it's sleight of hand or if it's magic or what. For everyone out there, no, I've never done magic. Melissa will tell everyone she meets that I do magic and I'm a magician. I'm not. I simply like collecting cool playing cards, and I love just like the feel of them in a hand. You know what I'm saying? And I love... You're making fun of me so hard over there.
I know what you're saying? I don't love the feeling of playing cards in my hand, so no, I don't know what you're saying.
I used to watch a lot of like sleight of hand tricks and card tricks, so I was really into it as like an observer. And so I think I have probably like 8 or 10 decks of cards in my office.
Like you would look it up on YouTube or something.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think I enjoyed this one more as an observer and an aspirer, but I never really took the time because learning magic is difficult. And if you're not really practiced at it, it's really dumb looking. Yeah. So
you don't want to get a magic trick wrong. That would be embarrassing.
No, absolutely not. And I never practiced anything near good enough where I was ready to like share it with other people.
Okay.
So
tell me, at what age were you doing sleight of hand card tricks or watching them on YouTube?
15.
Okay.
Why do you need to know that?
I'm not writing it down. No.
Yeah.
I'm just curious. I think it puts things in perspective. So
I'll call this magic, and I'll call it a 67, just because I never really took the leap into performing and learning.
So if you had gotten into it more, it might have a...
Magic is very cool. When we talked about our perfect days, part of mine is having a magician perform magic for me. Oh my goodness. This one, well, you got 2 in 1 here. Let's start with this one because it's the most underwhelming. Yo-yoing. This is the Yomega Maverick.
Say that again.
What?
Say that again.
Yomega Maverick.
That's the name of the yo-yo?
Yeah.
Did you name it that?
No, it's by Yomega.
Oh, okay.
And it's in the line of the Maverick, so I think it's the Maverick 3. This is a higher end yo-yo. If you can hear, it is made of metal. It's not made of plastic. Yo-yoing, I tried and got into for a while. I never got super good at it. I got okay. And then when I switched to this thing, it was like, cool, I can do more tricks now. But also, it's metal. And when you mess up, it'll like hit you in the knuckles and stuff, like really hard.
Ow.
And then some of the tricks involve you like, throwing like around your head and stuff. And when you mix being an amateur yo-yoer with a like solid metal yo-yo, I think I lost a little bit of interest.
I imagine there were some dents in the walls.
I think I steered clear of the walls, thankfully.
Okay. What would you say like the average cost of a yo-yo of this caliber was?
I don't remember. But it was like tens of dollars. Like it was maybe like $40.
Okay.
It's not crazy. You can probably buy yo-yos that are like $100, $200. I'm sure there's like crazy ones. This is not crazy. This is just like
just like a
nicer than one you get in like
for 99 cents.
Yeah, like a little toy store or something. Mm-hmm. So yo-yoing, honestly, it was never too impactful for me. I'm going to give it a 58.
Okay.
But this guy looks kind of like a yo-yo. That's because it's a Chinese yo-yo, otherwise known as Diablo.
I've tried this one before.
This is one of my all-time favorite silly hobbies. And it's got this axis in the middle that I'm holding right now, and this can spin freely outside of it. You pair it with a pair of like metal sticks that have a string between it, and then you do all sorts of tricks with it. Man, I haven't used this in quite a while, but I know I could do it today and still know all of the tricks like the back of my hand.
You're smiling brighter with it in your hands than you were before.
Because I want to wrap this up so I can go play with this. This is very exciting. This is my second one. I had one that I got from a toy store that was within walking distance of our house. So when we were younger, we would go walk to this toy store with my friends in the neighborhood and my sister and them, and we'd play with the toys. They had them out. You could sample them and play with them. And one of the things they had was a Chinese yo-yo.
Okay.
So I bought one at a pretty young age. And I was like, this is kind of fun. Then when I got a little older and I was all over the YouTube finding the weird hobbies. I stumbled on this again and was super interested in it. So I got this guy online. This was like $70. It's a pretty nice one. I've had it since 2012.
Do you think it increases in value over time or
decreases? It's dinged up. I mean, it's got scratches. I shouldn't have done it so much over the pavement because sometimes you drop it.
You would just go outside and yo-yo.
Oh, yeah, Chinese in the backyard, even in the basement. The basement was tough when you're talking about holes in the wall because this guy gets like spinning like really quick.
Yeah.
And then if you fail a trick or something or whatever, it can land and then like bounce off.
Oh, yeah.
So occasionally I would get yelled at because I'd be in the basement and you just hear like a giant bang and that's from this thing slamming into some drywall. But Chinese yo-yo, one of my all-time favorite hobbies. I will be doing this till the day I die.
Wow.
Probably on the day I die. It's probably how I will die.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give it a 96.
What?
Look, if you've not heard of this or you've not used one, look it up, find some videos and watch. It's very cool and I'm very good at it.
Maybe we could link some in our Amazon storefront.
Oh, we're trying to sell people Chinese yo-yos
No,
now?
not specifically, but maybe we need a Scott's Hobbies category.
That's not a bad idea. Yeah, I mean, hey, that's not a bad idea. I could sell a lot of hobby materials. Although people aren't going to buy a yo-yo now that I've talked about how it hurts your knuckles and gave it such a low rating.
Well, maybe we can link some
Who's
ones
gonna buy
that
a
are
hacky
painful.
sack from me?
I'm not saying anyone's going to buy any of these things. If anything, I think it'll be fun for people to see what you like on an Amazon storefront.
It's not a bad idea.
Just to creep on you. Yeah.
Or maybe later this week, I'll do some tricks with a Chinese yo-yo and we'll share it to our Instagram.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Anything else that we're missing?
Is that all that you have over there?
That's all I have over here.
Okay, let's see. To the yo-yo, to the Chinese, the cards. I've got a list because there's some things that I just do not have physical representations of in the house here.
Like martial arts.
Okay. No, martial arts.
I don't know if there's something I didn't know about you.
No, I did Taekwondo when I was really young. I can still count from 1 to 10 in Korean, but no, I was not really into that. I did it for like 6 months.
Okay.
Dominoes or Rube Goldbergs?
Oh, yes.
Are you aware? Are you familiar with this?
I've seen the videos.
I've showed Melissa videos of this. I went through a long phase in my childhood. I guess I'm still going through it now, where I wanted to make YouTube channels. So one of the ones I made was all about setting up these kind of domino setups. You know, dominoes, where you put them in a line and you knock them down.
Yeah.
And then doing things called Rube Goldbergs, which are like dominoes, but more involved. Like there's different pieces to it. Chain reaction things. Sounds really stupid. It was really fun.
Is there someone that you saw on YouTube that you just thought was cool that did that?
Oh, yeah. Sprice Machines, the Kinetic King. He even went on America's Got Talent.
Oh.
Pin B Domino. There was a lot of people that I was close with in the domino community.
Close with.
In fact, I even created a YouTube channel called Best of Domino.
Okay.
Where the intention was to aggregate all of the best domino content from YouTube into one space.
Is that still public?
It's still public.
Okay.
But I uploaded like 6 videos and abandoned it, which I did with just about all of my creative endeavors that I had.
Every one of these hobbies.
Yep.
What else? What would you rate
Rube
Dominoes?
Goldbergs. I'm going to give it it's honestly very fun. I'll give it a 77.
Okay.
Let's talk about card throwing.
Of course.
You're familiar with this. You've seen people do this online probably.
I've seen you do it.
Simple plain card, put it between your fingers, and then whip it like you would like a throwing star.
Yeah.
I was very good at this. Probably still am. But there was a period of a couple months where this was all I did. And
what do you throw them at?
Like balloons or just like targets. So like, pencils or cups or whatever.
But you could do it indoor.
I could, but again, when you're talking about dents in the wall, this was the real culprit because I had an area in our basement where I would set things on a table and throw cards at them. But when I missed, they'd whiz past and just hit the wall. And it's like, oh, it's just a playing card. It's not doing that much. Fast forward like a month when I've been doing this every day for a month, and you look at the wall from the right angle and there are 10,000 tiny little bumps in the drywall from the playing cards hitting it. So, yeah, Pam was not happy about that one. But card throwing, I'm going to give it a 64. A little bit underwhelming, but it was fun. I have to talk recent, and I have to talk Marble Olympics.
Oh,
Look,
yes. This is huge in the Walsh household.
I could talk about this for hours. I won't. There's a popular YouTube channel that does marble racing and marble competitions, like the
How
Marble
did you
League.
find this? How?
I find everything, okay? Everything
Or
I find on
does it
YouTube.
find you?
That too. They know that I'm looking for all the weird stuff, so they send it my way. So shout out to, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Jelle, Jelly or Yelly. I don't know, but yeah, he does this on YouTube, and I thought it looked pretty cool, so I was like, I could do that myself. So since then, a couple of my friends and I, we have on like a twice a year basis gathered in one of our homes and put on a series of marble-based competitions that we call the Marble Olympics.
It's very serious. And for like the week leading up to it, Scott will be up. Like he'll go down in the basement right after work and he'll be awake until like 1 or 2 in the morning.
At least.
Putting up marble contraptions. And he might be using like old Hot Wheel tracks or just random things to make these obstacles, and then all of the guys come over and they race their marbles on these different obstacles.
Well, race sometimes, or sometimes it's a high jump or a long jump, or sometimes it's hockey or curling. We just did the Winter Marble Olympics this year at our house just a few weeks ago, and so I was doing this whole process, and
it's incredibly serious.
Yeah, don't mess with me when I'm in marble mode, because I'll tell you, we all have teams with marbles, and we have team names. We have named all of our competitors. So, for example, my team is the Galaxy Guys, hashtag out of this world. We've got Coach Cosmo. We've got Team Captain Nova members, Quasar, Pulsar, Nebula, and Team Reserve Cosmic. So, I mean, we're pretty serious about it. And I don't want to brag, but the Galaxy Guys have won 2 out of 3 of the competitions thus far.
Yes, very impressive. I know it was hard to lose the last one.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
At least I podiumed. We expanded the field to 4 competitors, and I made 3rd, so we'll take it.
What would you rate Marble Olympics?
Oh, 90.
90. That's insane. Okay.
Sporkle.
Oh, yes.
If you have heard of the trivia website Sporkle, then you are a friend of mine. If you have not, then you either don't like trivia or you should go look it up. Sporkle is an online trivia site where I learned at about age 18 that users could create their own quizzes.
I feel like I definitely use this like in school.
Oh, interesting. For like, name the countries of this or something.
Yeah, my teachers would find random things, but then I met you and you're like, oh yes, I make quizzes.
I'm a huge trivia nerd. I love it. I grew up watching Jeopardy during dinner with my family. So I love it. And when I found out you could make your own quizzes, I'd been playing quizzes on there for a while. When I found out you could make your own, it was off to the races.
Game over.
Yeah. And my biggest category was The Office, because, of course, I'm a nut for The Office. So I've made hundreds and hundreds of quizzes about The Office. I've made thousands of quizzes in general. And not to brag, but they've been played millions and millions of times, coming up on probably 10 million plays.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm quite the quiz master on Sporkle. I haven't done it much lately. So it's kind of fallen to the wayside a little bit.
It's a little time consuming.
It was very time consuming.
Yes, and I know you had a goal for yourself to make one every day.
No, I made about 100 a month at my peak. So I was making about 3 a day.
That's insane.
Yeah. So
you've got your time back now.
Yeah, I'm going to give it an 88.
88.
For a time, it was, no joke, one of the most important things in my life. Like,
I felt that.
Like every single day. Every single day.
Yeah.
Any free time I had.
It was like, hey, we should go on a date. And it's like, no, we've got quizzes to make.
Is this going to be interesting to anyone? We've been going for 30 minutes, and I'm just now having a thought. Is anyone going to care about this?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Well, here we are. I don't have any more hobbies to talk about. I'm going to touch real quickly on the world of sports.
Okay.
Before we wrap up, because when it comes to sports, I also have weird tastes. So, yes, growing up, I played baseball. I played basketball. Now, no, not so much. If I'm going to watch a sport, like on television or online, here's what I'm most likely watching.
Am I rating these?
I don't need to rate these.
Okay.
Well, if I'd rate them all very highly. What sport am I the best at? Probably ping pong.
Maybe we should rate them.
Okay.
Yes,
I'll give
no?
yeah, sure. I'll rate ping pong. I'll rate ping pong a 89.
Okay, next.
Actually, the sport I'm probably best at in the world is bowling. There was a time in high school where I bowled every week, every Monday night. And then in college, my freshman year, all of my roommates and suite mates were on the bowling team.
Let me ask you, one hand or two hands?
Two hands.
Two-handed bowler over here.
Uh-huh.
Very serious.
Jason Belmonte.
He brings his own bowling balls. They have scents to them. He has a special rag, his own shoes. It's intense. Mm-hmm. What would you rate bowling?
91.
Oh, my goodness.
I'm a very good bowler. High game, 297.
We have plans to go bowling with some friends coming up soon, and I'm nervous they're going to cancel now.
Don't cancel. I mean, I'll take it easy on you. I won't.
Oh, you would never.
Yeah. Most people, like, when the issue is with all this sports stuff, when I get together with a group of buds, they're all talking about, oh, did you see the football game? Oh, did you hear about the baseball trade? No. Did you hear about Osku Palermo rolling a 297 to close out the Viper Open last Sunday? No. I want to talk PBA bowling.
You want to talk football.
Snooker, that's the next one on my list. Snooker is a billiards game, popular primarily in the UK and in Europe, and also in Asia. It's almost non-existent in the United States.
Incredibly hard to find somewhere to play snooker.
But man, my man Ronnie O'Sullivan is the greatest of all-time snooker player, and I will watch him play snooker for hours. And these matches can be hours.
Used to be the only way you could fall asleep.
Yeah, I would turn snooker on every night and watch.
What would you rate snooker, Scott?
85.
Have you ever played snooker?
No.
But it's still higher than a ton of these other things that you have done.
I've watched hundreds, if not thousands of hours of snooker.
Okay.
That's all I have on my list.
That's a long list. How many things is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
That's a whole lot.
That's a lot of hobbies.
Yeah. What was my highest rated one?
Let's see.
Got to be the Chinese yo-yo.
It was Chinese yo-yo. Right behind it, Legos.
Oh, that makes sense.
And then a couple others in the 90s, 91 for bowling. We've got Marble Olympics at 90.
Of course, yeah.
And those are all of your things in the 90s.
It's fantastic. What was my lowest? Fire breathing. It's got to be.
Yes.
Yeah, don't do fire breathing. It's stupid.
32, to be specific.
Wow, what? It's hitting me now that it's been a half an hour that we've been talking about this. What a waste of time. If you've stuck around for this entire episode, you now know way more than anyone should ever know about a person. So thanks for sticking around and listening. Any final words? Like, I don't know how to close this out.
As much as I make fun of you, I think it's so goofy. I just love that you love to try all these crazy things and like have fun with it. And even now you'll still do some of them. And I think that's good. I think it's fun that you keep that inner child going.
Yeah.
And no matter how much I make fun of you for all of them, you don't care and you just keep it up. And I love that.
Correct.
And as it should be.
Yeah.
And I don't plan on stopping.
Yeah. Okay, well, we got to wrap this up because I got to go Chinese yo-yo. So let's review this candle here.
Do you remember the name of it?
Juicy.
Pink Lady Cocktail.
Pink Lady Cocktail.
Yeah.
Pink Lady makes me think of the apple. That's an apple, right?
Yeah.
I once got mixed up by calling a mandarin an apple. I don't want to make the same mistake twice.
Embarrassing.
Pink Lady is an apple.
Okay.
It's like some of the other ones we have. It's a little subtle, but it's nice.
Okay.
It's interesting.
I want you to go
It reminds
first.
me of something. It reminds me of a certain type of candy or something. I can't put my
It's very
quite
sweet.
put my finger on it. Yeah. I'm gonna give it. Honestly, I'm gonna give it points for being in like the little champagne glass type. It's kind of cute. I'm gonna give it a 73.
Okay, 73. That's fair for all pink, girly, very girly candle.
I like the smell. It's very fruity.
It's so fruity. What does it smell like? It smells so much like something, and I just can't put my finger on it.
It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like a certain type of candy.
This is the kind of candle that I feel like I can taste it. You know what I mean?
It's because it smells like candy.
Have you ever had Band-Aid gum?
I was thinking some sort of gum. That's where my mind is going.
I think it smells like Band-Aid gum from like back in the day, the early 2000s.
I could see that.
Band-Aid gum.
I could see that.
Which is nostalgic, which gets points for me. And I do think it's very cute. I like it. Mm-hmm. I would love to know what the other scents were and try them all. But okay, I'm going to rate this candle a 81.
I think it's good.
I think I'm going to put it in my office at work.
Of course,
it'll really match the vibe in there.
That's where all of our candles go after we review them here. Melissa takes them to work and puts them in her office.
I just think there are some candles that are meant for different things. Like home candles are home candles, work candles are work candles. And that's just how I feel.
Okay.
This is a work candle. It's got an 81 from me. I think it's so cute. So cute. So Thank you, Kristen and Paige, for recommending it.
Yeah, shout out you guys. Cool. Well, I don't need to waste any more of you guys' time talking about my dumb hobbies. So we will send you off. As always, thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Walsh Fam Podcast. You can find us on social media. Where at, Melissa?
At Walsh Fam Podcast and at Walsh.
Whoa, hold on.
And at Walsh Fam.
Wait. At Ashwash.
I'm tired.
Run it back. Where can they find us on social media, Melissa?
At Walsh Fam Podcast and at Walsh Fam STL.
You heard it there.
Feels like a tongue twister for some reason.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think it's because we're tired.
Yeah. Find us on social media. We're there. If you have recommendations on candles, please send them our way. We will run out eventually. And bye.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Man, all over the place here. I'm going to go Chinese yo-yo. So we will see you next Monday.
See ya.